Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Marian and I'm happy that you are watching and here with me. Today I'm not feeling that well because I'm recovering from a dental procedure. But hey, crafting is always something that I like to do, but I'm not in the mood for something I really have to focus on and not a big project. So I was just playing around. And I thought, well, let's just record it. I had these beautiful dies I recently bought, and these are the first I cut. And I did them in black craft stock, and there are six flowers. And I have one over here. So there's 6 flowers, and I thought I want to display them, and I also want to practice a bit with sewing a book. So I thought, let's make a book, a little one, just for these flowers. And so I took the longest flower, and so I could determine what length the book or the height of the book, and the width was, I think this one is the widest. So I made a book, and I made it from packing. Well, it's not packing paper, but it's when you when I order my craft supplies, I get some paper filling in the box, and I got paper. Let's get it here. And this is already a little bit, I flattened it a little bit with my hands, but it was just like one big scrunchy thing. And I thought that's so interesting, the texture with those little squares on it. And I want to make a bigger book out of it, but let's just first make a small one. So I cut these papers. I've just punched the holes and thought, well, let's put on the camera. And I punched the holes. And I have here just 4 papers. And I don't know why 4, 4 and the cover. So 5, I think that's a nice number. And this is a bit sturdier paper from a Holtz Paperback. I had a leftover bit, and I thought it would be a nice cover. So then it would be a book like this. And just with some, it's going to be a little book just to go through. And I have to figure out how I want to glue in the flowers and what kind of embellishments, but I'm going to worry about that later. First I want to sew this book, and I have to get my supplies for sewing, and then I will get back to you. So I am back with my supplies for the sewing. And I have here some wax thread. I have some different colors. I decided on this gray because it fits this paper the best. I could also have chosen for black, but then it would stand out. And I don't know if I like that on the cover. So let's take 1, 2, 3 times the length. The needle. And I think I'm going to leave the thread on the outside because maybe I want to have a little label. So then I'm going to start on the outside and go in. I could also do this reverse. I should have left the paper clips because, well, let's see if I can find all these holes. let's go inside this cover. Oh. Leaving a little here. And then let's see if I can find all the holes. Yes. Let's not lose this. Don't know if this will work if I put a paper clip on it. Okay. And this one is through. Then I go up. And let's see if I can find those holes again. Here and here. We have a nice sun today shining through the window. That's okay. And then I'm going to go all the way to the bottom because I have 3 holes. I could have also done 5. I've been right through in one go. Could have also chosen to do 5 holes, but I've done 3 because it's a little book. And then find my way back to the middle, and on the other side of this thread, you can see it, this is on this side and this on the other side. And then I'm going to tighten it. See how much thread I need. Looks good on the inside. Oh, not too tight. So this is good that I'm doing this to learn. Cut a little off and then just a double knot will do. This one, and because of the waxiness of the thread, it will stay. All right, that's it. Looks good. I think I need kind of maybe a clip or a ribbon to hold this book together. You can see how easy it is to make a little book. It's just a bit of paper and a thread and you're ready. Look at how lovely this paper is. And you can do anything with it, what you want. Make a little journal, do some collaging. So I'm gonna embellish the book and I'm gonna let you see the end result. Hi, it's the next day and I'm not finished yet, but I wanted to give you an in-between look because it's not always like poof and it is ready and everything looks nice and you don't see what's happened in between, because I have to figure out a lot of stuff like how I'm going to close it and just want to give you an insight to the process. And I'm using, I can't remember if I already showed it in the beginning, but I'm using these dies. These are new, but they are also kind of old because this is a selection of the previous ones. So it's the new Vault collection, and I'm using these. And I've cut them all out in black craft stock. So these are my first ones I've cut out, and I wanted to make a little booklet, just so I can see what kind of flowers they are. And it's also a nice project. And I'm also purchased this one And I'm using little bits and bobs from this one as well. And when I got my order in from the craft store, there was paper in the box. Mostly people throw that away, but I don't know, it got my attention and I made this into a little book. And this, I translated the word knisper. It's a Dutch word, but when I translated it, it was also an English word. So, and I hope it means the same as it does here. But it's, can you hear it? We call it knisper. And it has such a satisfying sound. All right. So my son said it as well. He says, oh, I want a book with this paper and I just want to go and turn the pages and hear the sounds. Okay, so I've already started. I did the cover. And as you can see, I used the wreath here. But I cut off all the leaves. And it's funny because there are leaves on this paper, so it has leaves. But the leaves on the die, I cut it off. And I just glued it around the cover, so front and back. Did a little bit of the wax on it, just some little accents. Put some beads and a little tag on the end of the threads. Some stamping. And I do need to edge everything, but I'm not at that point right now. Just thinking about how I want to have this whole booklet look like. And one of the things I have to think about is when you see it like this, you need some kind of closure. So I could wrap like a ribbon. So I have a small ribbon. I tore this from an old duvet cover and just put some distress color on it. And I could do this, but that's not what I want. It's not what I like, so I want to do something else. So this is my mind working in how I going to do this. So I took, I had some labels on my desk, and I folded it around. And I thought, this is nice to have it like this. And then, of course, not a white label, but, and then attach it with a brad on this side, and on the other side, there comes the challenge. I wanted to use a magnet, and I'm making it, well, this is kind of estimated or guesstimated, as they say, how wide this should be, but I'm guessing kind of this. So I folded it more than once, as you can see, but this is just a trying out label. And then I have these tiny magnets. These are really, really tiny. And I've done it once before with a magnet. And it is kind of, because you have to like cover them up. And I did a die cut. So I did die cut this little flower from the wreath, and I die cut it from the paper, from the pages, because I wanted a thin paper so I can glue it. If I use a thick paper, I cannot fold it around the magnet. So I thought this would be nice, and it also it's the same paper as I'm using. So I folded the paper, I folded it and die cut it, so I have it twice. So this is what I'm going to experiment with, is that the little magnet on this, and maybe I'm gonna try it on another paper first. Putting the magnet here, putting this paper on top. It's very tiny, and I don't know if it's too tiny, but I will see if this will work. So put this on, magnet under it, and with the label, also have to hide the label, magnet in the label. I also purchased the fabric tape from Tim Holtz, especially for these kind of projects. So I think I'm going to put a bit on the tape and do the magnet under it. I don't know if it's if this will work, because I need to cut it to the label. So this is in my head. I'm just wondering on how I'm going to do this. I'm going to attach it to this, put the magnet under, and I have to position it that the magnets will close. So this is kind of figuring out, but I want to do it because I want to learn how this works, so that in a future project I can do this much faster than now. And another thing I was experimenting with, I already did some stamping. So this is the cards, the paper from also from Tim Holtz, but it's thick, so you can stamp on it. It's okay. But this is thin paper, and if you stamp on it, it could show through to the other side. You could see the stamp. So I tried it with this stamp. This is stamped with the VersaFine. And then when I look on the other side, you see that it's shining through. And that's not what I want. So I thought, well, I could stamp and cut it out and just glue it. So this is, maybe I'm going to do that. I also stamped this in a oxide. And this is not shining through that much, just a little when you put it in the sun then. But if you have the book closed, it's not that bad. So if I want to stamp on these pages, I'm going to use Distress Oxide. And when I want to make a very sharp or dark stamp, I'm just gonna cut it out and glue it. So this was also finding out how it works. So what I did was, doesn't that look lovely? It is just this, only this die cut. I did nothing with it, didn't sand it or anything. I just wanted it to be very black, like a shadow. Did a little bit of stamping, not that much. With the oxide, this is the nature, the text stamp is with walnut stain oxide, and this is in a black suit ink. And I want just to try it. And then when I look at the other side, see, it doesn't show, it doesn't shine through. So that's nice. And here's the other flower I did, also stamping with oxide and the black suit ink. And just going through my all my stamps and just looking what looks nice with the flowers. So it's a nice experiment. What kind of stamps will look nice with the flowers, like on the background, or just like here a figure one. And I have 4 more flowers, so these 2 I did, so the other ones are going in here. And then I have the first and the last page just to do something else. I don't know what, maybe like this, putting something like this on it. And that's what I'm now about to do. I will go back to you when I have more, or maybe it will go so fast that I'm finished. I don't know. So Till later. Hi, and it is day 3 and here is the journal, but it is not quite finished. I'm going to walk you through what I've already did, but there are some things that need to be done, and I want to do that together with you on camera, and then we can completely finish this journal. So it's now the 3rd day and I am luckily feeling much better than yesterday, and the day before was felt really sore, and so now I'm luckily it's better, the swelling has gone down and going back to normal. And the closure of this journal, that was really a hassle because I wanted to do something with magnets and it completely failed. But that was a really good learning experience. The magnets I used were very tiny, and I think that was the problem. But you know, bigger magnets also, you need to hide the bigger magnets. So I don't know, maybe I'm not doing magnets anymore. But I have thought of another way to close it. And I used the fabric tape, and I used this leather, and this leather is from the couch, from the leather couch from the sofa from the neighbors. They didn't want the couch anymore and bought a new one, and that one had to go, and the neighbor cut out the pieces from the sofa, pieces of leather, and gave them to us so we could use them. And so I just cut it with my craft knife and a ruler. I just cut very small strips so I can get like a really thin kind of, how do you call it? Rope? It's not a rope. It's something else. Anyway, to tie it around. And because this is this surface is not really smooth, then when you tie a knot, it just stays that way. So you don't need to make a bow or something. So it's like this, and then it will stick, and this will remain closed. So, and that was the purpose of it, because otherwise the cover will pop open of all the layers of pages in between. So this was the, and inside I pulled out the magnets from here. There are still some a little bit cut here. So this is, well, it's a little boo-boo, or how do you call it? But this is, it doesn't bother me. And on the inside, I have here the magnet still, but I glued it. So if I'm going to remove it, I'm going to tear the page probably. So I'm just gonna leave it. So I'm just gonna stay with this. And I removed the things I had here, kind of a dangles or labels, because it was just too much. Then with the leather, so I just put on a piece of the fabric tape around it, so that the knot here from the binding is secured, and you don't it doesn't come untangled. So you already seen the cover, and let me show you what I've done so far. I've also glued in a paper doll, also in the back. I found 2 girls that were related to flowers or nature, so I put them in. And I must say that on this side, I don't really like the stamp in here, but well, I'm gonna leave it, or maybe if I get a better idea, maybe I'm going to make a pocket or something. but for now I'm going to leave it like this. And I've glued in all the flowers. And I've put in some pieces that I want to still have to attach and that I'm going to do in a minute. But let me show you the flowers. So this flower you already seen. And this. This flower. And as you can see, I did just with each flower, I did some background stamping. And I stamped in the walnut stain oxide. And also I used the Black Soot Distress ink. So these two for the stamping. And I used a lot of stamps in the background from this set. And this is from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and it's called Best Time. Best Time. And there are a lot of stamps in here. It's matching the die set, Lost in the Woods. And there are lots of stamps you can use as background. And I've used all of them. So I used this one, I used this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So a lot of stamps. And as you see here, I used this, it looks like wood, and I just stamped it next to each other and varying in the length of it. So you can get nice background stamps. And then also use some numbers and letters. And that's what I used. I already showed it, but this is the nature stamp from Poole. And of course the field notes from Tim Holtz. So kind of used these stamps, and I love doing lots of stamping in this book because I do love ink. And this is the middle page, and in the middle page I have glued some really small piece of fabric that's going to be kind of a bookmark with a little bead I found in somewhere in my stash. I just have the one, so, and it fits. And here I used, because this is such a tiny die, I cut it 4 times and thought, let's make a spread, because this is the middle page, and glued this in between so you won't see the binding. It doesn't matter, but I did use it. And here I used some stamps. These are other stamps, also from Tim Holtz. I don't know what they're called. I will link all the, or will write all the stamps underneath the video. And here, I especially like this stamp because I haven't used it before. And it's this tiny stamp, this one. And I first thought it was like a tire, like from a car, tire marks. But it's not, it's more crackly. And I kind of like it. So that's this one. This is the bubble wrap stamp. And here is the other girl. Looks a little bit like Heidi. And I did just some stamping here. And some stamping here. And I think that will be enough. So I need to glue down these ones. These are kind of small note collage strips. And let's see where I want to glue them and if they need some additional stamping. So I'm going to do that now, because if I'm doing that, then the book is done. I also have some washi tape, and this one I already used. This is from Elizabeth Craft Designs. Oh, they all are, by the way. These are all from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and I used this one here. Kind of liked it. And here I have some smaller ones, and maybe I'm going to do a little bit of tape. Let's see. Let's start at the beginning. And I have, these are just random snippets of paper I had in my bin, and I stamped a little bit on them, and some things were already on it, like this 158, and the notes that was already on the page, and I kind of distressed it. So let's see where I want to put this. Under, middle, or high? Well, definitely not middle. And it's just your preference or your eye for the composition. This could be a spot, but then it needs a bit of a stamp here, or I can do it here, but then it needs something here. So it's going to be up, or it's going to be down. And then you have to make the decision on what to do. I think I'm going to do it down. If you're doing it down, because this is a piece that's really noticeable, then your attention is going more down. The attention of the eye. If you do it up, then the attention goes to the top of the page. And then sometimes if it's too much on the top, then it's not, it doesn't have any base. So you will feel the need to put something dark here. So I don't want to do that. So that's why I'm doing it here. So let's glue that. I could use a glue stick, but I have this. I'm so used to this glue. And putting it here. Okay. So does it need a bit of tape? Maybe just a little piece here. This is not really sticky anymore. Do we want something with black on it? Maybe a little bit of black on it. Don't need that much. Like this. And the black is nice because this is black, so it's very nice to repeat the same colors on the page. And I have a little bit left, but that's too tiny. And it could use a stamp here if you want to, or a piece of washi tape. That's also possible. The nice thing about washi tape, that if you don't like it, you can remove it. And I don't want the red stripes on it. I do like the red, but do I want the red stripes? No, I don't want it. Okay, still have some little bit of red here. Snip it off. Okay, so I can put some piece of washi tape here. And how does that look? Looks all right. Do I want a Tuesday on it? Cut this off. Right. I kind of like it like this. And maybe it could use some stamping, but I think I'm going to leave it like this, and then when I put a final flip through, I can always put on some stamping. Next one. Let's see. So there's up, there's middle, and there's down. And this time, kind of, I think I want it in the middle. Not up. I think that's because I already have a stamp here down below. Yes, I think I like it here. I hope you can see this all right, because I have zoomed out a bit, so maybe I should zoom it in a bit more for you, so you can, let's see if I can do this on the go, just a little. Yes, I think this is better, so you can see it better. See, so it's the middle, down or up. I think I'm going to do the middle. Let's just do it. Okay, and kind of in the middle, like this. It doesn't matter if it's straight, because this is not kind of a book that needs everything to be really straight. So I think I would like something stamped. And when I'm looking next to my stamps, I see I've used this big one, but I also have that in a little one. So maybe I'm just going to use that small one. My stamping block. And then this is my stamping paper. Because it's always nice to go a little bit off paper, so then you don't have the feeling that everything is neatly between a margin, but it's wider. It's more pleasing for the eye. So I think have one here and then one attached to it, and let's do it in, I think in black. So I'm taking the black suit. Goes very well, the black suit on this paper stamping, as you can see. And then one smaller here. Yes. And then maybe the same, kind of the same, not exactly the same. One here. And let's see. Big one or small? Big. Okay. Is this enough? I think this is enough. Yes, doesn't need any more. Clean it. Okay. Next page. And I use a lot of planner. Elizabeth Craft Designs has a lot of planner stamps. And I did invest in some, although I'm not really doing planners. I thought I would. And maybe I will, but not right now. But I have a lot of stamps, like this feather. And also kinds of stamps I put on the little note papers. So it was nice to use them. Let's see. I think I want this here, but then I need to stamp something here. Yes. Let's do that. What did I say? Oh yeah, here. Okay. And I'm not gluing this because that's nice. That's a little bit, gives a distressed look. Okay, so now it's, what do I want to stamp? Do I want to repeat this stamp? Or do I want to do something completely different? Let's see. Here I did the same. Here I did something completely different. I think maybe something different. Or just one, but not completely to the end. I could do that. And then maybe a number in black, and then, yes, let's do that. You don't know what you're going to do until the moment you like get an idea. Let's use this paper. And like this. Let's see. Yes, I do like this, and then maybe just a little, just a really little piece here. Yes. Clean it, and then find a nice number for there. There are already numbers on this page, but and then we're going to get the field notes. Let's see what could be a nice number. Could also be the agent. That would be a nice one. The big number. I don't want a long number. So it's going to be either this one. It's really big. Or I'm going to do this one. Yes. I didn't use this one. I think I didn't use this one before in this book, so I could do this. Let's do the big one. And then in the black suit, I have those tiny ones. Okay, let's see, do I want it there or more to the, not in the middle, but I want it a little bit on that would, the 5 needs to be a little bit there. Okay, it's on. Yes, I like it there. Good, because a stamp is, well, you can collage it of course, but it's very difficult to remove a stamp. Okay, so next page. This one doesn't need any. And then this page, I have this. And we could do one down here, but I think I just want it a bit darker. And then I don't know if I can get it darker with the walnut stain, because that's already on it. And I have some ground espresso ink. So it has a little bit of a dark base. That's better. Maybe even a bit more. Oh, I think I just did it, dipped it in the black soot. Oh, that's okay. Dark it is. Yes, I like it like this. And I'm going to do this here. And then it also needs a stamp here. And maybe the circle, I'm thinking. There's a lot of, I don't want the number, I think I don't want the number in. Well, then let's just first glue it. Okay. It's glued, so I'm leaving my glue open. You need to pin it constantly, this glue. It's already having difficulty. Yes. Okay, then the circle. I do love this circle, really nice. And then maybe a bit here. I think I don't want it here. Maybe or just a tiny bit, but I want something here. And we're gonna do this also in the black soot. Now I need to really look, because like from a distance it looks like the same. Not that it really matters, but the black is, well, darker of course. Let's see. That's nice. And then maybe a little here. Let's see if it's not too much. Is this already enough? Or do I just leave a little, just a tiny, tiny, tiny little line of the circle. Like this. Yes. Yes, I'm glad I did it because that's what I wanted. Okay. We're getting closer to the finish. So it's just one, the last one. And that's this one. Let's see. Do you like this flower? Down or up or in the middle? Put this one down, up, middle, down, a lot of down. Then maybe this one up to get some variation, but then it really needs something here. If I do that, let's do it here. And also want to put on a little bit of the dark edge. When I'm zoomed in, I really have to keep a good eye out for that I'm not moving out of the frame. Yes, I'm going to do it here. And then let's see what kind of stamp would I do there. So this is a die from also from Elizabeth Craft Designs, from the planner stuff, and it's from the die set note pieces, and you have all different kinds of sizes of like a torn out page from a notepad. So it's very nice, and you can just put any paper under it and you have like a really nice. So this is in the die, and then I just distress it even more with tearing it or crinkling it, and of course with the ink. Okay, so let's see what we're going to do here. I still have this on my stamping block. Put it back. Let's see. What would be a good stamp? Or do I want a flower? Because that's also possible from this set. Could also do that. I have here also the flowers. But I could use maybe this one. I have still one here on top. That's how fast you get losing those clear steps. Or one that's going over it, or this one could also be nice. This one. Or a bee. The bee or the fly. Yes. Make quick decisions, because otherwise that video will be very long. One wing on the note piece. It's difficult stamping because there are a lot of bulky pages underneath, but I think that's all right. But it still needs something here. And then I could use a flower. Let's see. which one, because I already have 2 numbers, so I don't want to do any more numbers. It also has words here and here, so that's not something I want. So either I'm going to take this one or the little violets, but the violet may be a little bit too big, so let's do this one. Oh, let's put this fly back, and maybe I'm going to do that in the walnut stain. To continue the stamping I'm doing with both colors. Let's see, a little bit off the page and then stamp it. Oh, that looks really great. I think this is it. So let's clean up the stamp and have a final walkthrough on how it's become and if it needs something. Then I think I will be finished. I thought I would use more washi tape, but I didn't. I could do it. Oh, let's pin the glue. Okay. And this is a bookmark. So this is the journal. And let's have a flip through. And if it needs something, I don't think so. I like this. With these letters here, really nice combination. And this. This one. This. The lovely Heidi girl. All the violins. I do love this one. And I did just some simple stamping here because this paper is also, it looks very collaged, and well, let's leave the paper do its beautiful thing. This is it. So this is the journal. I'm going to tie it. Very easy. And this is the journal. I can zoom out maybe a little bit more. Yes. This is it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked this journal. It is a size I just thought of myself because of the size of the dies I wanted to use. And it's a really nice book to look at the dies if you want to use them again and have a nice visual. So thank you all for watching. If you want to subscribe, please do so. And see you next time. Bye.